Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Our first stream of today. We have 2 streams today. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Beautiful start. We're gonna, of course, prepare for the FOMC meeting. We have a lot of things to discuss here. Potentially, I see already another trade coming up here. I do think we're gonna get a trade before already, so that's a good thing here. Hope you guys are all doing well. Let's get it. Let's get this party started with the guys that are already here. Amazing. Good morning for many of you guys. Good afternoon for some of you guys, and good evening for myself as well here. Looking forward to host 2 streams today. And let's see what we have here. We have Vicky here. We have Alex. Amazing. Romeo, my man, is as well back. Frank. Hardly. In Hardly We Trust. Gonna be good, gonna be good. Memory Creator, my man, hope you're doing well. Seox, Malek. Malek, thank you for the support, brother. Donald. Matthew. Light has. Shipley. Jolin, hi, enjoying Discord. Amazing. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Amazing. It's gonna get better over time. The longer you're in it, the better it's gonna get. Just another guy, my man. Welcome, Hannes. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so for this session right now, of course, we're gonna talk about everything, right? We're gonna talk about the. Let me put on some different music, by the way. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. I'm looking for the yen, by the way. Japanese yen going up. That means GJ potentially coming down here, and potential trade for GJ coming very soon. But give me 1 second. There we go. All right, amazing. So we look at the yen. But before we start, we have the FOMC coming, okay? Besides the FOMC meeting, we have the PPI coming as well. This is also going to be... we're going to see some reaction here. I'm not sure what kind of reaction we're going to expect. Why? Because you never really know, what the news will do before the actual FOMC statement and the Federal Reserve press conference and everything that we're going to watch together at 2:30 a.m. for me when the time is right. Okay, what we're going to see though is that the PPI is still coming. So we could see an effect here for the dollar. But for now... I'm actually interested in GJ potentially taking it down here. I looked at a couple of them. I looked at the euro against the British pound as well. So EJ is also a solution. I looked at the euro Australian dollar, but I do believe that EJ or GJ are interesting. And the reason why that is because I think that the yen is now at a crucial moment where we can actually start flipping here. So that means the Japanese yen basket, okay? Not the yen pairs directly, the Japanese yen basket that represents the strength of the Japanese yen. So in this case, we had the consolidation. We then manipulated to take out the lows, take out the liquidity was built up, to then flip and go for that expansion. That's what I want to see now. If that's actually the case, we're seeing already a good start here. If that's the case, then we're going to see things like this breaking down. Okay, we're going to see GJ breaking below. That means that we have been building up, by the way, a tremendous amount of liquidity below as well over time since pretty much the London Open. So that means that we could target the London lows eventually. That would be an ideal target as well, which is right there. Somewhat in that manner. So now we're starting to range. We started to distribute here. And I think that if you do flip and we break above, it's a matter of, okay, which pair is weaker? Is it the euro, the Australian dollar, or is it the British pound? Now look at GJ. I like what I see on GJ. I think there are a lot of clean targets for GJ below, and I think a healthy pullback is pretty reasonable. So that's something I'm looking for for now. Of course, during the FOMC statement, I'm more going to focus on the dollar and the dollar pairs, gold, and that kind of stuff here. For now, I think, okay, maybe we have some potential here for the British pound and the Japanese yen pairs, especially here. So for gold, for now, gold is still coming down. I think that what I'm looking for is actually a long later today. But I think that we could see still lower targets until that moment. So I think until we are reaching, you know, the actual statement itself or the meeting itself, we can come down and then flip during the FOMC statement, somewhat in that manner. Another one is the US oil. Okay, crude oil. A lot of people call this the West Texas oil coming down, taking out the lows. It's another layer. And the Australian dollar right here as well. A couple of other pairs, but my main focus is going to be the euro against the yen, GJ, any of these particular pairs right now here. Based on the overall structure, I found GJ interesting. I found the Australian dollar also interesting here. Okay. June says, hi Lorenzo, we're missing you. Well, we have been doing like 3 streams a week, every single week for a year. Plus, we're now uploading especially new content as well. And we are in Discord as well here. And today we're going to do 2 streams. So, I miss you too, but I'm here right now. I'm going to be there for a while. I'm not going to leave. We may look at the GU. Thank you. Yes, we can do that. Before we do that, guys, smash that like button. Let's get these likes up right now. And if you're new, subscribe, because we're going to do a lot more things here, and we're going to watch the press conference in the second stream later today. You don't want to miss it because it's fun. It's always a lot of fun listening to Uncle Jerome. It's always exciting. It's always fun. And the energies are always good. Besides, regardless of what he actually says and stuff. It's tonality. It's always fun and interesting to listen to. Okay. That's it. The yen. Looking forward to that. And I see it already happening right now. We're breaking that high. I like what we're seeing here. So I want to see this expansion, continuation right now to the upside. Okay. If that happens, then you're going to see these coming down. And then based on the weakest pair, we will find out which one is the most interesting to short. For the dollar right now itself, the dollar is maybe now bouncing because you had a question about GU. We can go over it real quick. We are actually holding in this demand right now on the dollar index. We are kind of accumulating here. We have news coming though. Do take that in consideration. So we could still be ranging until that moment. I think that's something super realistically waiting for the news to come out here. So also for GU. Let me see real quick what we have here. I was looking at it before. Yeah, okay. So yeah, not nearly a clear sign here. We're forming that major zone. I'm looking at this first layer that we're reaching. We're reaching that zone, but I think that to be honest, GU is still looking quite strong here. But we could flip if the dollar decides to come out bullish during the news in the short term, to then flip again during the FOMC statement. So that means that, you know, this could indicate a short-term pullback to then look for the continuation, somewhat in that manner. But for now, I think that we'll start consolidating. I don't think we're going to see a crucial breakout. But if that happens, then what I suggest is to look at the lows here. But until that moment, you see also still that there are equal highs or triple highs built up here as well, which represent that there is some liquidity or buy-side liquidity above. Do take that in consideration. If you want to come down when the dollar is holding here, you want to at least make sure that we are taking out the highs before making a move to the downside to then look for the targets below. That's my suggestion, to really wait for this expansion, to then wait for that break, to then continue to the downside, to then take out that liquidity to fill out that gap that's there. If the dollar indeed decides to move in that particular direction. Based on what we're seeing now, it could totally happen, because that flip could always happen also around the FOMC, where the dollar decides to continue its momentum to the downside, which a lot of people anticipate here. And then from there we will see what will happen. But for now, the yen is looking the cleanest of all these different type of pairs. And a break below this level at 176.926 is a very interesting level to look at, just because of the fact that this is the high, higher low that created a higher high. And then waiting for the break. We get rejected, by the way. It's important to mention that we got rejected also in the higher time frame already. And at the same time, we want to make sure that we break this high, or that low that put in the high. I think that's the most important part. So as long this low, you know, put in that high, you want to make sure that this is the low that we break and that we close towards to. So we actually have that nice, beautiful distribution phase to then continue momentum downside, push, and then see from there in that layer. So that's the thing that I'm looking for, the accumulation, the manipulation, the expansion, to then make that real move back to the upside for the Japanese yen. So based on the weaker pair, on the weaker currency against the yen, we will find a setup. GJ is now on the list. Euro is there as well. The euro is actually pulling back as well right now at the moment. We have seen this already here. The euro index is also pulling back a little bit right now at the moment as well. If you go on the 1 hourly, we can see clearly that we are still pushing further down right now at the moment. If you look here and you close everything out, you see that we're starting to break down a little bit after that rejection here. Came into that zone, rejected. You know, we could see it coming back down towards these lows here. I would not be surprised if that would happen. So that's one layer. All the other ones are looking actually quite, still quite reasonably strong. But the reason why I'm looking at the British pound as well is because of these highs right there. Because this high created this low. This low has been taken on many previous lows. If you pull back to this low, to this high while the yen is going up, and we face resistance and we close below it, we could see that expansion or that pullback, and that could cause that reaction that we're looking for, which is a lower low break, and we can then looking for a setup right here. Let's say somewhat in a manner, short here, stop loss above, target the lows of that particular range. Something in that manner, okay? Yeah, we have the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, we have the dollar against the yen, we have all these yen pairs that are now the most interesting in my opinion. Right, so is there a GBP index? Yes, that's the one that you saw just now. That's the British Pound Currency Index, which is called the BXY. The BXY. You have the AXY, the BXY, the CXY, the Japanese yen basket, or JPY basket, and then Euro index, SXY for the Swiss franc. We have the dollar index, of course, the DXY, everyone knows it. The volatility index for the indices. The ZXY for the New Zealand dollar. However, if you look at it this way, you will be like, okay, I don't understand anything about what's happening on the chart. So what do you look for? You want to look for the lines. You want to make sure that you just understand the market structure themselves. That's what matters the most here. You don't have to find everything perfectly. You know, just use the market structure here to get a grasp of potential resistance. Or support areas, or demand, or supply, or just overall structures. That could give you a very good indication of a stronger or weaker currency, or potential flip of a stronger or weaker currency. So yeah, so far so good. I'm waiting for that break. And I'm gonna wait and see where the yen is at, where the British pound is at, and what the potential is here. So yeah, let's be patient. Let's wait for that break. Let's see where we're at with the yen breaking. Euro is also coming down now. Euro is getting rejected actually also, which is also an interesting one to take in consideration here. So we have lower time for rejection. If you go to the 1 minute, we know what we're talking about. It's right here. We saw that rejection already. In my opinion, this is the low though. This is the low that we need to look for. 151.110. 151.110. Yeah. Let me quickly look at the dollar yen as well, just to have a grasp of all the yen pairs at the moment. So let's see what we have, and then we will find out here. Okay, interesting. We have this initial zone. Massive gap below. We're really looking quite weak indeed. But this is the high. So again, look at this, okay? This is the high and this is the low. Is this high broken? Or is this low broken? Chat, is that low broken? Lemon, I'm new to your channel. Welcome, my friend, welcome. No, that low is not broken, so we need to break that low. Right there. So nothing for shorts for me until we break this low. Why? This is the low that created a high. This is that gap. Fantastic. That's a good, that's some clean action right there. If you break it, we can fill out the gap straight away. That's what you want to see here. The yen is looking ready to make that reversal. That's one thing. The question is though, what else is there to do? Is it the dollar now that comes down, or is it the dollar that holds here? So far we know that the dollar is consolidating. So the fact that the dollar is consolidating is not bad. It's not good. It's neutral. So we would love to see it breaking down while the yen is doing its thing here. You want to see the contrast. You want to see that contrast between two different types of pairs to get that falling knife. In this case, if he's short, to get that falling knife aspect of a trade where you go in and it goes immediately down. That's what you want with these type of setups. That it just plummets to the downside. It just starts tanking. The only way to do that though is to break down the stronger lows. With the alignment of the index itself. So with that, we have exactly what we need, and that is that low that needs to be broken here, which is that 139.841 with a 1 now. So I'm not sure where you're broken, but it's somewhere around that level. Just look at this low and look at this high, and let's see if we can break it. Okay. Whatever that level is, on what time frame it is, it does not really matter. It depends, of course, what closure you're looking for. But again, I have that spreadsheet for you. That spreadsheet you can find under my last video that I uploaded. Not live stream, but video. Where I talked about candle closures. Let me see if I can find it for now. Let's see what I have here for you guys. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Let's see. There we go. It's this particular spreadsheet. Okay, it's for you. It's for everyone. You guys can just use it. It's under the last video. I know a couple guys are watching it now. Where it literally shows you at what time, what kind of candle closure you need to wait for. So let's say the moment it breaks and you want to wait for a closure. You look at what time it breaks. The moment it breaks at a certain moment in time. You then know exactly. Anyways, just watch the video in full and you get an understanding of how it works. Completely. Is extremely handy. So do take that in consideration here, okay? Can we download the spreadsheet? Yes, you can. You can do that. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen looks weaker. Okay. Let's have a look then. It definitely does look weaker. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, massive rejection there. I like it. I do like it. I do think it aligns very well with the yen right now. I have to agree here. I have to agree. This is a great move. It's starting to look weaker. This is the highest point. We already came now. We came up, but we never, let's say you enter, of course. You always enter this way. So you always put your stop loss above the high. And you target a serious low. Let me see what the target, if there are potential interesting targets that make sense here. I like what I see. I like what I see overall. This is a nice range in general. I do like it. Let me see what we have. Let me see what happens internally in that range itself. Okay, we have this low, this low. We're now underneath the very low of that range internally. Okay. Yeah, keep a close eye on it. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. But keep a close eye on it for sure. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Let me add this one to the list. And that lower low is what we're waiting for. Lower low confirmation. I'm still looking at the Canadian dollar, at the Japanese yen. Let me add this one in as well, just to be sure. Thank you. I've printed and stuck the closure spreadsheet to my wall. It will help in my patience. Amazing. That's great to hear. That's beautiful. It will help a lot. It will help a lot. Trust me, over time, it will definitely help you a lot here, knowing exactly what kind of body close you need to wait for. And I can't believe that nobody shared this before. So I was like, I need to make it. It took me literally 5 minutes to make. Of course, it took much longer to test, but it took me around 5 minutes to make. So happy to share it with you guys for sure. Absolutely. What's your bias for the Australian dollar against the US dollar? Well, that depends on the dollar right now. We are in an accumulation phase here on the lower time frames. We're starting to accumulate. As you can see, we have the news coming in around, I believe, 30 minutes. So we have some news coming already. The PPI is coming. So I'm quite neutral for now because there's news coming. Okay, so you never really know. However, there's a but here. You see already that you got rejected previously at that previous high that created these lows. We wicked down, we created some lows here, some internal lows. We broke structure below. It was a pretty solid low. Now we're moving up to that internal high. Now we're getting rejected at that internal high. So if the dollar decides to move up, like we are already kind of seeing right now at this particular moment in time, we see the dollar starting to accumulate. The way we look at it right now, let me see where it is. That's the money supply. There we go. Then the Australian dollar breaking these lows is an interesting one as well. Because we're getting rejected internally. That range was a rejection already. We saw it previously. We have a lot of imbalance below. We came back, tapped into that zone again. Now we're facing some more resistance. And now we're starting to build that liquidity below. And closure below could be a trade as well here. So there are two different scenarios that I would look for. Somewhat in that manner. Are you using the SMC strategy? Not particularly. But I have implemented, a lot of SMC technicals in my trade, in my analysis overall, which I found extremely helpful, but not my execution. So I do not trade from order blocks too much. Joined V3 yesterday, loving it so far. Man, it's gonna only get better when we're gonna talk about the trading pit here. And by the way, Andy, if you're new, I think you probably already know how to trade a little bit, but if you're new, then, watch the SMC video series that we have. Because the foundation is amazing. If you just have the foundation ready, we can start talking about strategies, psychological aspect of trading, trade management, risk management, and move further along with that as well. I mean, I would love to see the dollar pumping right now until the FOMC meeting to then come down again. That would be actually fantastic. You come up, you build that liquidity to the downside. The FOMC meeting comes, boom, you come down. You take out the liquidity below that has been built up for the coming hours. It could be a good move for the dollar. Have you already decided on the time in between the tests? So the next one is on Saturday for now. Okay, it's Wednesday. Saturday, correct? No, Friday. Friday. The next one is on Friday. You can do the next test on a Friday. That's what we're going to do here. Beautiful. Let's show us some love here. Show us some love here. Press a 1 in the chat, guys. Let's go. Let's get the energy up here. Let's wait for the news to come out as well. And of course, we're gonna do 2 streams today. We're gonna watch Uncle Jerome live. It's always entertaining Because Uncle Jerome is always, you know, he's fun to listen to. He's fun to listen to. It's a bit the same shit as always, but you know, as diplomatic as he can be, it's about his tonality. His tonality really gives us the information that we need. So yeah. Gold moving. Okay. Well, I'm not interested to go long here. For now. Based on what I see with the dollar, with the news, and so on and so on. I would love to look at the gold, but I'm just ready for gold a little bit later today. You know, especially around the FOMC meeting. That will be a nice thing to look at. What gold is going to do. Neymar says, let's go to Qatar. Where can I find a spreadsheet? It's in the last video that I uploaded on YouTube. Which I'm gonna do much more. I'm gonna do much more education. I want to be a main focus in the future as well. Education. Education, education, education. And give so much value in that education and put so much effort in that education that it has to help you out here. It has to. Oh, look at GJ and look at the yen basket. We have the accumulation. For the consolidation, we have the manipulation. And now we're going to go for the expansion. Now we're going to take out the highs. Is that our next target? Well, if that's the case, we're going to short GJ. We will short GJ and we will look at that continuation here for the yen. That high is important though. The 7,285. That's right there. It's an important high because that proves that you're back in that overall range, the bigger range right here. Is it the news gonna mess with GJ? It could be. Be careful. But what I hope is that we break and that we then actually can just, you know, close our position or put our position on break even before, and that would be amazing. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna see. Depends on it. Just totally depends on the time. It totally depends on the time, and around what time we actually break, and about the yen as well. The yen needs to come up and break as well above this 7,285 level as well. Because the yen is right now going to face some resistance here. Okay, we're now at that high, or we're coming closer to that high. So I don't think we're going to break it directly, unless we break it. And a massive equal take your stop loss. Let's see. That's why this low is always so super important. The low to put in the high is so important. And it seems to align very well with the yen right now at the moment as well. The closer we're gonna go though, let's say it's like 15, like we can't take the trade, of course. We need to wait for the news to come out, that's for sure. It depends on the time here. Depends on the time. The dollar is going down. Interesting. Dollar is coming down again. The lows are taken out. The fact that dollar is coming down is actually a good thing for the yen. If you guys want to wait for the news, wait for the news. That's no problem. Regardless, we have to wait for this to be broken here. That accumulation, manipulation, expansion is definitely happening. So I would love to see it coming up here and continue its journey. What time is news? News is 20 minutes. News is coming. What time the FOMC will be? The FOMC will be 2 a.m. 2 p.m. Sorry, 2 p.m. EST. 2:30 p.m. is the press conference, which is a 2:30 a.m. for me. Gotta make sure that I'm there. And I'm gonna be live. Wow, GU still getting rejected internally there. It wants to push though, it wants to push down. But that high is a stronger high. That's what I mean, you have this high here, right? This high created this low, it took out this low, now it pulled back. We had first rejection, was great, but this is not a good sign. The fact that it came up again is not a good sign. So, anyways, we're gonna find out. We will see here. So far, we're still seeing that rejection right there. We're waiting for you to be live on FOMC. Yes, thank you, brother. It's gonna be good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. We're gonna watch it. Gonna be a short night of sleep. Yeah, we're gonna just range here. I do not think we're gonna see massive expansion any way, shape, or form until the news in like 15 minutes. So let's be patient here. Let's be patient to see what's happening. Dave says, hey buddy, what's your body closure video? AAA, love it, the intro. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you, bro. Welcome. Okay, dollar is pushing down a little bit. The yen is still not breaking this level. We need to say we need to wait for that higher high. So wait for a higher high, right there, top. One second. Let's see where it is. Wait for higher high, right there. Dump of dollar and we'll shoot up after that. What about it will shoot up and then it will come down during the FOMC again. Especially when it's already coming down right now in this space. Especially that too. So yeah. Goal prediction is waiting for the FOMC. Because we could easily flip around again. So I'm very patient with gold until the FOMC meeting. This is when I want to trade gold. Because I think it's gonna make more money during the FOMC itself. The expansion will be better. And the structure will be more clear. That's a good thing. Breaking, we're not breaking it yet. So PPI 15 minutes. 14, yes. We're coming closer and closer. By the way, guys, I was looking at my channel right now. We have been doing, and that's pretty nuts. We have been doing around, and I believe we are coming very close. Around 165 live streams right now over the last year, since July. So we're almost there in it for a year. We started from scratch, and yeah. 165 live streams, man. Like, you don't realize it, but we have been working. We could sit on the beach, drink a pina colada on the Bali beach and surf all day. But no, 165 live streams. Building an insane community. 10,000 members right now, coming closer and closer. The only thing that's missing, which is coming, in my opinion, which is actually super important, is education. More educational content on my YouTube channel. I think this is going to build a really, really good foundation. On another level foundation on our channel. Of our overall brand, everything related to that as well here. We have already the best foundation ever. We already have the best foundation right now. With the community. Okay? So education is key, and I believe in building that I'm focusing a lot on that in the near future. I guess you don't drink beer, you're only tea lover. Yeah, I drink not much. I don't drink that much, no. I've been active trading gold for buy. Should I get out before the news? Depends where you entered. And if you can put your stop loss and break even. And if you're in a buy. Okay, you're in a buy. Okay. We are facing resistance though. Right now. Right here. Yeah, so it depends where you entered. It depends where you entered if you can secure yourself already. It could get a little bit volatile, but at the same time you don't really know for sure because the FOMC statement is coming out a couple hours after that. And sometimes the news before disappoints. It disappoints a lot. So, yeah. We just have to see. Wait and see here. 11 minutes. That's what we need to wait for. Last week you drink too much tea, but this week I can't see the magic of tea. No. Yeah, I don't know. We have it right here though. We have it right here. We're always prepared. GJ forming boo flag. Yeah, we started to build liquidity. I would love to see this happening. I would love to see a higher high and a lower low. In the end, the yen is deciding what we're going to do here. The yen basket decides what we're going to do. So if the yen creates a higher high, it's a no-brainer. This is the high to break. Let me make it bigger. Wait for a higher high, right there. That's the break we're looking for. I would really like the continuation of the SFCB series. Yes, a couple more videos coming for sure. 100%. And what about a lot of like mini series on YouTube as well? Like a series on YouTube. That's also interesting. Something that we can look at. Put a lot of work and effort in. That's it. Touch shop. Welcome, my man. Hope you're doing well. 10 more minutes for the news. Be prepared. Get ready. Get ready. Keep close on the dollar. Let me go back to the dollar index right now at the moment. Okay, we broke out. Told you. It is it's not a good sign. When you see this happening, comes back, create a lower low, and then it comes back again. It's not a good sign. It is not a good sign. Dollar. Okay, dollar's breaking down significantly here. Before the news. Do take that into consideration. Before the news already. eurjpy Pro, are we buying gold? The thing about this right now is that the dollar is already coming down and the news is coming out in 8 minutes. The dollar is already plummeting beforehand, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about here. It happens all the time where we tend to flip. So I found it quite dangerous now to trade it this way. When the news is not even out. The question is now, are we inducing a lot of people to go in? To then flip? Is that the question? We'll find out. We'll find out very soon. Let me zoom out here for the dollar. Let's see where we can go to in case we're coming down. Oh, we're already there. We are already almost there. So we are coming closer and closer to this bigger zone. We have been bouncing from this zone previously already on the daily. So we are finding some serious demand here. So it is important. We're coming closer and closer to that level. I'm in gold buys, break even in profit. If it flips, it flips. That's a good way of looking at it. So let's see how the dollar responds to that zone once we're there, because we are coming closer and closer. If we are going to keep tanking, we're going to now bounce into that daily area of the month. When the news comes out, I mean, it is an interesting moment. It's a great moment to flip here. We have created a new high, by the way. Let me put this level right there. So yeah, do take that into consideration. At 103.02, we have the daily area of the month for dollar. Where is it? Oh, it's right in that gap. Sorry, right in that gap. It's actually an 8-hour zone. 8-hour zone. Is debt decision today? No, we had this last month. The debt decision was the 1st of June, round about the 1st of June. The interest rate hike decision is today. There is like an 80% chance that we will not increase the interest rates, or it probably is a 90%. Now let me see what we have. I think it should be an 80%, something like that, 75, 80%. Oh, it's 90%, 93% now. Yeah, of course. After the outcome of the CPI coming out better, it's even higher. So yeah, it's a 93% chance we're not going to increase the interest rates here, which should be bullish. So the dollar is coming down, that's true. But what about the manipulation? What about the manipulation here? So wouldn't it be better for the dollar to come up before the FOMC, when the news comes out right now, to then flip during the FOMC? Just throwing some things in the air here. In the end, you don't know. We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. We will not know. We will only witness and experience. And based on the structures that we follow here, we make some decisions here. So yeah, the fact that we're coming down now is interesting. Okay, just saying. Why now? Why before the news? Why are we liquidating all these lows now and not during the news? Is it because we're gonna flip and we're gonna break up when the news comes up? To do the same thing, accumulation, manipulation, expansion? Again, just throwing some things to the air here. But yeah, be aware of that. Nobody knows here. The only thing that we can know is just to write down a few scenarios in general. That's typical news day. Okay, you just have to anticipate on a couple scenarios and then wait and see from there. So we will find out. We will find out. Three more minutes. I want to see the news. I want to see a poll here. Usually it's wrong, by the way. I've tested it out. Usually it's wrong. Be quick. We have 3 minutes. So up or down. Let's see what the community thinks here. Down 100%. Let's get the votes in. 87 votes so far. 100 votes so far. Let's go. Good to know. 108 votes. 60-40. 60-40. 60-40%. 2 more minutes. I mean, I would love to see Australian dollar coming down here, to be honest, and breaking the lows. Same for the yen, by the way. Congratulations on the 28k subs. We've been here since we have a 500 army. Legend. Legend. Let's go to the 100k this year. That's what I want. That's my goal. I want to go to the 100,000 subscribers this year. And we have a way. We have a plan. Nothing is random here. We have a plan. We have a plan. Okay. 30 seconds. We're coming down before the news. The votes ended up at 200 votes, roughly. 61% thinks it goes up, 40% thinks it goes down. From now. There we go. I'm not even gonna look yet. No, I know gold is coming down. Gold is coming down. It shot down and shoot up. Dollar coming down. Let's see how far and how deep. 60% sit up, 40% sit down. Interesting. Japanese yen GJ right now is indeed coming down. We had the accumulation, manipulation, expansion in a very aggressive manner. Very aggressive manner. I'll wait for the closure for sure. If the closure is there, I'm interested. The outcome was negative, okay. Minus 0.3%. It's a big difference. And interesting if you look at the CPI and the difference between the manufacturers and the consumers. Okay, we are now in that zone though. We are in that zone, 8-hour zone. We're tapping in it right now. Interesting, interesting. 59% now. We ended up at 60%. So that was the end goal. 60-40. 60-40%. The 40% were right. For now. For the yen, you definitely want to wait. This is fantastic. You know, we have taken out these highs very aggressively though. You want to see body closure buff, at least at this level. The 7,285. You want to see GJ, of course, closing below. A body closure below. No closure, no trade. I think we can easily flip again. I do agree with you. I have to agree with you. I think it's definitely possible that we could see an easy flip here. These polls are amazing. These polls are very interesting. Overall, not really a real volatility. Well, it's quite an intense volatile move in general here. It liquidated. It did similar as what we saw yesterday. So it liquidated the lows. It came up. It immediately liquidated the highs, and now it is just coming down again. It's the same story, same as yesterday. People waiting for the FOMC. Yep. So no closure above. I would love to see closure above. And of course, GJ didn't have a closure either. So no closure is no trade here. So we could see a flip. Let's see. I know some people went long here. The most important thing to take consideration if you went long here, that you put your stop loss below the last lows. The dollar is now in that zone, which I was talking about beforehand. We're now tapping into that first layer. So we are facing some serious, yeah, we're gonna face some serious support soon. That flip is what I'm looking for. Lorenzo, I want to ask you something. I was trading in a demo account, it was quite good, but for now I have $200 account. I can't trade that good as I was trading in demo. I'm trading SMC support resistance. Okay, but if you were trading that good, then your strategy is irrelevant. When you were trading a demo account, then it had to do with your psychology. Yeah, that's a whole layer. So when you start trading with real money, like a lot of other things matter. And then, yeah. These are important factors to take consideration as well. So the strategy is irrelevant. If you said that you were profitable with a demo account, then it's not the strategy that is the problem. See, last time we traded gold on this account. Oh, this is my smaller account, sorry. Yeah, I should focus a lot more on gold as well. But that's gonna happen during the FOMC. My main focus here. Okay. So we haven't seen a closure, we just saw a wick fill, or we just saw a wick The dollar right now is in that moment, is in that support. We came down all the way. We came down already beforehand. We came down a little bit more. My question is, are we going to flip here to then come down again later today? To just continue our journey to the downside with the dollar here. Hello Lorenzo, it's my first time to come to your channel. I like it. Seems very helpful. My question is, which broker do you think is good to trade with a 4K account? Depends if you trade on MetaTrader or on TradingView. If you trade on MetaTrader, I think BlueBerryMarkets is very good. They never fuck around with spreads, which is the most important, including slippage and fast servers. So that's one suggestion. If you trade on TradingView, I don't know really. I traded on one that was amazing. However, they removed it. But I'm not sure where you're from. At least for European citizens, they removed it. And yeah, unfortunate. So I'm trying out some different brokers right now. What do you think? How can I improve the brother? Risk less than you can handle, emotionally can handle. So if you think that you are starting to get nervous and your heart rate is going up, you just risk less than you do. It's private money, right? So it's not a prop firm account. It's your own money. 4K you said. So just risk less. You're not in a rush. You are not in a rush. Just risk less, and that will help you tremendously here. How long have you been trading, and how was your first month of trading? My first month of trading was actually very good because I started in crypto and I thought I was a legend. I was a king. But later I realized that everyone could just trade and be profitable in crypto when everything is going up forever. So it was a delusion. I was delusional for a long period of time. And then what happens is whenever you're delusional, reality hits you in the face. And, you know, you make a lot of money. And yeah, you think you're the G. And then it reverses on you. And that's a tough lesson to swallow, a tough pill to swallow. But from there, it's about moving forward, not giving up. And only getting better every single day. Step by step by step. Learning something small every single day. It doesn't have to be every single day. But picking information up here and there all the time. Small source of information. And at some point you start connecting all the dots more and more and more and more. And that web of connections gets stronger, better, more congruent over time. Which gives you better results. So my first months were great. My first year was great. My second year was awful. And it kept being up and down for a long period of time. All right, this is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see. I want to see the yen now coming up and closing above here. Still looking for the continuation here. Not just the liquidity swipe to then just turn around and completely shift. No. To actually try to come up one more time to continue its journey. And to show us some body closures below here. So I'm waiting for a body closure below. And I want to see how it looks when the yen is doing the same thing. Based on that, we'll take a potential trade here. In that time frame, we can observe the dollar. Canadian dollar dropping harder. I added the Canadian dollar for you indeed. We are indeed coming down. That closure is also coming soon. So we might see something happening here as well. There's a beautiful area of consolidation, by the way. We have seen it expansion right now. This is beautiful. Let's say we come up to the value area low. We get rejected. We create an internal lower low. We execute. and we short from there, and we take it to the lows. So I like this as well. I like this as well, as long as we push further back. It's important to stay grounded when you're making money. I agree. Completely agree. That's a very good... that's true. That's super true. It's important to be grounded when you win. Because there should not be a difference between winning and losing in your outcome, your emotional outcome here. Starting to like though. I like starting to like what the yen is doing. So we're heading into the right direction here. Let's observe the internal structure one more time. Canadian dollar is also looking weak. Beautiful, beautiful accumulation, manipulation, expansion. We just had a little bit of an awful spike due to the fact that we had the news. But now we're gonna see, now we're seeing something happening here. So, did you get a haircut? You look great. No. Well, a long time ago already. A long time ago. A couple months, like, I don't know how long. 4 or 5 months ago. Oh, but this is what you want to see. This is fantastic. So pullback. Continuation. Entry. You don't have to rush it. Why? It tends to come back in such a high percentage. It's ridiculous here. The moment you think, oh, I'm going to miss out, it's going to come up. It is going to come up. The moment it comes up, waiting for the internal structure to be broken, we take a short, stop loss above the highs, and we target the lows. Why is this interesting? Well, this is 9. So this is like the previous day. So like this is from yesterday when I think it's 9 a.m. Yeah. Yesterday 9. Want to come back to that particular range right here. So I usually do not feel any FOMO, and when I do, I just ignore it. Because based on the results, I just want to make sure that I turn into green. Green. Only green as much as possible here. People can say, yeah, but you miss out on so many trades. Yes, true. But how else do I want to have a 70% win rate or 75% win rate when I trade? It's my way. So I have to follow that way, and I'll not change my way here. Doesn't mean I'm losing. Yeah, of course I lose. I mean, I can be perfect, but yeah. The worst feeling in the world, not gonna lie, the worst feeling in this world is being that patient and then still lose. But that's the game. That's the game you play. Okay? Losing is part of the game. But yeah, that's what messing around with your head as well, right? You're patient, yen and then you still lose and you're like, huh? That's why you cannot make a decision based on one trade, on 2 trades, on 5 trades, on 10 trades. No, you need at least 50 trades, if not more, in my opinion, to kind of make get a grasp of the potential of your win rate. The potential of your win rate. So in this case right here, you see it dropping, you think bye bye, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen is gone. It's over. It's over. It's not over. It's not over yet. So wait for the pullback. Wait for the pullback. Wait for that continuation. Rowan says, if you can handle losing streak, of course with money management, and try to understand why you lose. Once you get the edge, boom, welcome to the top 20. I love it, bro. Love it. Good morning, Lorenzo. What is the correlation between the dollar index and the Nasdaq? So we have a triangle formation. Okay, a triangle formation. So this is by example here. Okay, this is the example that I'm talking about. So, okay, it's this right here, the Illuminati. Okay. Let me see. Where is it? Right here. There we go. Let's say this is the Nasdaq. That's one. Dollar. Okay, dollar index. And the volatility index. Okay. Let me just put the VIX right there. You want to make sure that when you trade the Nasdaq, that the dollar index and the volatility index are aligned. So you want to make sure that the dollar is showing bullish momentum, the VIX is showing potential bullish momentum. For the Nasdaq to come down, take a short right there. Okay. I call this like the 70-30 rule. So this is the 70% volatility index, 30% dollar index, and of course 100%. Yeah, no, it sounds weird. Doesn't make that much sense either. Anyways, 100% Nasdaq alignment. So you want to make sure that the Nasdaq is showing also that trend line, that potential weaker structure if you want to short it. And then between the dollar and the VIX, you want to make sure that there is like a 70-30 rule where the VIX is definitely showing bullish potential. And the dollar is either consolidating or is showing bullish potential. That's where I want to look for the Nasdaq shorts. And that's, in my opinion, the highest probability. Then it's about the time, the liquidity, the manipulation, the news, the whatever. You name it. You name it. The moon cycles. So yeah. So many different layers. But yeah, no, that's the pyramid. So the dollar index and the Nasdaq is important, but the volatility index is the most important right there. My man, and Sako, amazing. Great to hear, my man. You should make this in a small explanation into a short drill. Could do it, could do it. One more question, bro. I'm trading London a lot. So the indices are closed mostly for me. Example, I am trading New Zealand dollar against Swiss franc. I don't have an index to correlate. Do you have any method for that? What about the New Zealand dollar currency index? Just getting a grasp of the market structure in general. You start on the daily. okay? You go to the 4-hour. You use lines or Fibonacci candles. So you get rid of these gaps. Because you just want to understand the market structure. Okay? You're not interested in this type of... It doesn't make any sense. So you want to use Fibonacci. You want to look at the condition, market structure. Based on that, you have the information. That's the New Zealand dollar. What else were you trading? Swiss franc? SXY. ZXY, SXY. Compare both. Look at the weaker. Look at the contrast. Make a decision. Higher to lower time frame. Execute from there. Dollar yen looks cleaner. Okay, I have the dollar yen or the Canadian dollar against yen right now. I want to wait for the pullback, which I'm looking to trade here. Then let's have a look at the dollar yen. Let's see if you're right. Indeed, the dollar was making that move, but it gets rejected, continuing to the downside. Yeah, we're still in range. We're still in range overall, 4-hour range. Not much is happening here. So what created the last internal low? That was this level. So this is the high. You see that this high always works. Why? Because this high created a lower low. That high created a lower low. We came up, tapped into the zone once, tapped into the zone twice. Internal structures were broken. They don't care about the internal structures. The external structure is what matters here, which is this high. We tapped into it multiple times here. So what truly needs to happen is that we break this low. That's what I'd love to see. Preferably actually this low. And I know it's far away, but in order to be aligned here with the higher time frame to the lower time frame, you want to make sure that this is aligned here. And that you break out of this line. So I'm a little bit more cautious with the dollar against the yen. Because of that external structure here. Lorenzo, I think you should make videos about trading psychology. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Personal story. My trading journey, you know, all of that stuff. We're going to do that. We're going to make that happen as well. Let's get back to GJ as well. Let's see where we're at. Okay, making up, moving up. Nobody closes below. So, when is the next series coming? I think 2 more videos for the SMC video series B, right? 2 more videos I need to create. I could easily work on it as well. Daily market cycle is one thing. It's super important actually. But I think a story can help us, to be honest. Anyone who's beginning with doing money should blow up some accounts. Yeah. I like to listen to stories, you know? I like to listen to biographies as well of other people. Get a grasp of what they went through. I think that's important. But I have to agree, it's not everything either. That's for sure. It's not everything. So the thing is about GJ, this is interesting, right? So the yen has been coming up from here. When we were starting to stream, we were here. The yen is now here. GJ is higher than we initially was when we were actually coming down. So the yen came up, but the British pound is just as strong. But that's why you want to wait for the counters here. That's why I switched it to the Canadian dollar yen for now. Wes, do you have any known group of friends who are traders? I do have a couple, yeah. I do have a couple. Couple of guys, indeed. That I worked with before, in person. Down 40k, I want to cry. I lost more than that, my man. So I won more at some point. I lost more than that as well here. So it's a thing. It's part of the game. The best thing to do is never to risk a lot of money when you trade. It's just there is just no need. There is just no need, and that's the way they do it. They play you like that. They think, oh, you can make more money now. So the more money I trade with, and I just use the same system, the more money I'm gonna make. Well. Yeah, it sounds great, but then the reality hits you, and you suddenly actually get, induced to do something stupid. Why? Because you don't have these experiences yet on a smaller scale, and you lose it. I'm just experiencing. I'm just explaining it because it happened to me, myself. Everything I'm telling you comes from my own experience. So. Yeah, it's that's how they do it. That's how they play you, and that's how they play many individuals in this game. And it's super, it's crazy. It is crazy, but it's yeah. My suggestion is never to work with, and I hope this is not your own money, or I hope at least that it's like a prop firm account or something like that. But I think it is your own money. I'm not sure here, but in the end, it's the skill is more important. Doing a full year with seasonality is also to be experienced. I agree. I have to agree here. Did you have a professional experience in trading like hedge fund in your bank? Well, we worked for an investment fund before. Okay, look at that, beautiful. This is what I like to see. Australian dollar starting to do what I like the most. That is coming up, facing that rejection, right at that level. After these highs, we are now in that initial zone. We have been tapping into it already many times, facing a lot of resistance. So we are coming to that major zone right now. For the Australian dollar against the US dollar. Let's see where the dollar is at. No significant reaction yet. I'm not sure about gold. Buys above 90.58 sounds good, but we need a bigger retest. So I have the Australian dollar, US dollar ready. I have Canadian dollar, Japanese yen ready. I'm going to set a couple of them ready. I'm just going to wait. Let me see gold real quick. Okay, 4 hour, we came to that zone. We're facing that resistance, internal rejection. This range right here. Candle structure is facing serious resistance here. We would not look for buys above the 90.58 for sure. Just because you're in that range, the overall range here. I do think that gold could later come up. I do think that there is a lot of potential for gold to make that move. Potential even, like, to be honest, in the short term, if we break below the 1952, I would actually be interested in this. But yeah, keep a close eye on it. Don't rush it. We have the 4-hour candle closure in 56 minutes. That's for gold here. By the way, look at the US30. I'm not really using a lot of trend lines, but look at the US30 here. We are at the verge of a pivot here. It is interesting to look at. Even though everyone thinks the market would go up here, I'm looking at a pivot next week for the S&P 500, by the way. There's also another reason I have for a pivot. Starting at the 19th. The 19th of June. The 19th of June. So the US30 is just as interesting when you look at let this overall trend. Like, look at what we're building here. Coming back to the daily level, that daily high here. On rejection, we came down. That's another relayer. We come down to the 12-hour, rejected from this high, this on the 8-hour. Sorry, we came into this high right now. We are now in that high, and now we have all the liquidity built up below. Very interesting, though. Very, very interesting. Look at the US30 and the S&P 500, but the US30 as well here. So this is a low that I really want to look at. And that's this low right here. If we break below this low, regardless what anyone thinks, I want to short it. And that's why I have a alert set for that particular level. For the US30, 34,012, 14. So I would love to see that closure. And for the S&P 500, I don't know about the S&P, but the S&P is a daily move. It's a whole other layer. It's a whole other layer. Yes, and guess where we are already? I'm looking for that pivot here. For the S&P 500. I did a lot of work for the S&P. We're coming back to this overall bigger range. We have been expanding up here from this bigger. We came down, we're now back up. I'm looking for that last wave to the downside, actually. Starting next week. And we are now at, surprisingly, the exact range we were talking about here. This area of consolidation. That expansion, that retracement. And the value area low is the first level, the first layer. If you look on a 15-minute, that's exactly what I'm talking about here. The value area low, that layer right there, the highs, targeting these lows right there. It's a nice rejection point as well to look for. But we might pull up one more time, so that's why I'm patient. But that's definitely something interesting as well. So the indices are next week. One of the most important factors to look at, in my opinion. Unless something amazing happens here during the FOMC meeting and whatever. Something that matter. So we are coming up here. Future contracts on indices and stock exchanges expire on the futures markets on Friday. Yes. That's one layer. Even if we go up, I expect a pullback to look for the continuation. So I am very, very looking forward to that short, to that squeeze. We taking any trade, Lorenzo? I'm looking at it and we're waiting, patiently waiting. Keep in mind, it's not a regular day, it's the FOMC meeting coming. Regular trading day is easy. There's nothing to worry about, nothing to come, less manipulation. In this case, we are looking at a couple of them. So the $20 US dollar, $20 Japanese yen. We have to use 30, but that's another layer. But that pivot for the S&P 500, I would highly recommend to look at it because you could get a swing trade here. Right there, at the 19th of June. Okay. I know how many days this was, by the way. This was a 90-day period. 250-day period. This last cycle was... a 21-day period. Yeah, we're coming very close. Very, very close to a pivot here. Look at the S&P 500 here. Look at this breaking below. Potential is below that level. So it's the value area low rejection. It's that lower low confirmation. That closure. Looking for a short-term pullback. The S&P is ready. The S&P is ready here to come down. Beautiful value area low rejection. A beautiful expansion to swipe the last liquidity, to tap into that value area low. To then close below. And to flip here. Howard says, I've been building a swing trade on the S&P 500 this week. Glad to hear you're looking for the same. That's amazing, bro. Great to hear. Whereas YCC traders typically believe that trend line is always liquidity. It's only a small adding position of institutional against early buyers or sellers. So I think that a lower time frame trend line is usually liquidity. It's usually to build up liquidity because it's a fractal chart. Okay, you have charts in charts in charts, patterns and patterns and patterns on different time frames, from the higher to lower. Because it's fractal, internally it needs to build up the liquidity to move over to the higher time frame. So because of that, I do think that on the lower time frame, yes. On the higher time frame, I am much more careful with telling and saying that that trend line, every trend line is liquidity. But from a logical standpoint, you have to understand as well that besides the fact that you could be right here in general. If you place a long, and many people do place a long position, and it puts in higher highs and higher lows on a consistent basis, where are these people going to put their stop loss? Not above. The market is feeding on that liquidity though, right? So it needs to build it up in order to take it out. And the easiest way to induce people to do that and to come into the market is by building that type of trendline liquidity. No stop loss means no taxes. Yeah, unrealized profits. I read something that was quite shocking. They didn't put it through though. But they were talking about taxing people on their unrealized gains. So that means that if you are still in a profitable situation, like you are in a profitable trade, okay, they will tax you. This is not confirmed, by the way, so don't assume that this will happen. But this is a story that I read, that they will tax you on the unrealized gains. So unrealized, that means you haven't sold your position yet. But because it's a certain date, they will tax you based on that unrealized position. Because there are too many people now that just keep these positions open. They're constantly hedging themselves in and out of the market. So you can't tax them, right? But that means that if you are in an unrealized profit and they tax you, that and the market suddenly flips, you're not just fucked from that trade, you're double fucked because of that situation, right? And you know what the beautiful thing about it is? The beautiful thing about it is, okay, is that if you are in a loss, you're not gonna get your money back. You're not gonna get, you know, a reduced tax advantage or a tax advantage or something. You cannot write that off. No, it's only if you're in unrealized profits. And if you don't believe me, look it up yourself, okay? US unrealized gains tax or something like that. I don't know. Unrealized capital gains tax. I think something like that. Imagine if that would happen. That's the craziest the tool that it could implement. It would change the whole market. Change the whole market. So imagine you are in a profitable position. You are up $10,000. And because it's the 1st of whatever, the 1st of June, right? And you know that the 1st of June is coming, you know that you have to pay a certain percentage over the 10,000 profit while you haven't closed your position yet. So what are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? Well, most people would then potentially just close it. Or reduce their position, right? It doesn't make any sense, but yeah. Check DJ again. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Beautiful retest. Beautiful. I love it. This is great. Great continuation. The accumulation, manipulation, expansion. This is a good sign. This means that GJ should be coming down. Yeah. That's what we're waiting for. Patience, patience, patience here. Waiting for the closure, body closure. Beautiful closure, by the way. Beautiful closure. The way it came down here. Didn't create a higher high, so it's still that same low. And you see how important that low is right now, right? You see that this low is so important. That low that created a high. You can swipe to it, you can go through it, but you don't close underneath. Well, if you don't close underneath, you don't go. You wait for that trade here. You don't go in it. Guys, be honest with yourselves. Nowadays, every second man in the world, if not every single person, trades smart money concepts, and nobody set their stop losses below or above the trend line. So where you then put your stop loss? And not everyone trades smart money concepts. Actually, it's actually not as much as you think. And maybe maybe the hype is real. The overall impression is that it's the case. But if you look at the overall market, like all the big traders that I know do not trade smart money concepts. They have their own way with EMAs, their own strategy, different types of indicators, and it works for them. What color is your stop loss? Red. We're not in though. We wait for the closure. Oh, what color is your stock? Okay, got it. Lorenzo, can you please explain how to pick the correct low that put in the high, especially lower time frame, pick the wrong moves, and get confused when the swing has one. Okay, so it tends to be. This is indeed a good question. It just depends on the structure. What I tend to look for is the final either bullish, bearish, bullish scenario. So like it's a bullish, bearish, bullish scenario followed by an expansion and a retest of that range here. So that's usually what I tend to look for. Then we are looking to break and close below, looking for sells here. Okay. Then we have the other way around, which is of course the bearish, bullish, bearish. We're looking for that swing position right there. So that means that you wait for that. You can also look at it from this perspective. You have a small reaction. Usually what tends to happen is that you have to come down a little bit and you have to then expand out of nowhere. So it's that last move before making that next expansion. You need to see that swing curve. And you just look at simply the last high. That's not hard to see what the highest point is. And then you look at that last swing curve before that highest point. But I would stick with the bearish, bullish, bearish, and bullish, bearish, bullish scenarios.
Started drinking semen while I'm streaming that Chappelle show. Sticking to the classics like Adidas with the shell toe. I ain't no pretender, I'm a bender like an elbow. Probably cut forever, stuck together like we Velcro. Strawberry margarita, hard to beat a flies, nigga never split.
Trend line only shows us redistribution ending small positions by banks when they can't raise up volatility in the market. So that's interesting. Do you say that they can't raise up volatility in the market? Well, when talking about liquidity, what do they need to create? They need to create the liquidity, right? Liquidity is not always a bad thing, though. Like it doesn't always mean that liquidity is like, you know, indeed what you say. You're completely right that it has to be taken out. But what else moves price? It's like a car without electricity or like a car without petrol, right? It can't. So you need that injection of oil and petrol, aka liquidity, to move price. Where that liquidity comes from is a whole different story. So that could be what you say. That could be the banks that inject that liquidity to manipulate price, to induce more people to join and go along with them, to then reverse upon them or continue its momentum until they have built a big enough position to then hedge themselves and flip the market later on. Regardless of that, it's going up or down. It's always in phases and stages, regardless of the outcome. We're still holding here for a long period of time. The more we're doing this, the better it is. Otherwise, we already should have taken that massive... I should have already had that reaction here. So we're starting to seriously now build out this... this layer we have now. We're coming back to these highs. And this is typically what you want to see here. Okay, let me clean it up for you now. In a second, I will put it back. But the lows are taken out. We're now coming up. We have now a bigger range. We have this overall gap here. So look at that reaction. Look at this reaction. Look at that reaction. And look at that overall gap. If you look on the daily, we are now bouncing from this particular zone. So this is what you want to see. You want to see first bounce initially from this range. That last candle before we saw that expansion. Then you go to lower time frame. Sorry, that's the wrong move. You go to the lower time frame eventually. And you look for the internal structures to do the same thing. So you wait for that reaction. You start building. You manipulate and you make that real move to the upside. And this is the typical accumulation schematic. So this is what you want to see. And I expect higher targets for the yen in the short term. The question is then which other pair related like has the best contrast in regards to the yen itself. That could be the Canadian dollar. That could be the British pound. It depends on the timing. Could be the euro. What do we need to look for? The baskets themselves. See which one has the most potential to face resistance right now and potentially get rejected. Well, we have the euro index facing resistance right now, while the yen is still thriving. This is one layer. British pound is much stronger, so we have to be careful. That's the reason why it didn't come down already while the yen was coming up here. But we are aware of that. So we're just waiting for that contrast and then that execution. Okay, first stage is completed. This is a good start for the US30 indeed. So thank you for sharing. I'm not particularly interested in the trend line. I'm just in particular interested in that last low that put in that high while breaking the trend line as well here. So that's beautiful. We are there indeed. We are coming closer and closer to that climax here for the indices right now. This is super clean. S&P, same thing. US30, same thing. How far can gold go? We are waiting for these. Wow, this is going quickly though. We have to be aware of that. The New York Stock Exchange is opening is actually open right now. So this is super important. Immediately coming down. Let's see how far we can take it. Do we set alarms and trade off screen? I have all my alerts set indeed, yeah. Absolutely. Look at the US30 right now. And look at what we're doing here. How confident are you in this upcoming trade? Well, only take a trade if you are confident in it as well. Don't just follow me. That's my suggestion to you. How long have you been trading? 2017 I started. I started to take it very serious in 2020, so... Beginning. So 3.5 years. About 7 years since I actually started to trade for the first time. Okay, nice. Going faster. SPX as well. I like the SPX as well. I like these 500 or the S&P 500. Just because we got rejected at the value area low of that range, that bigger range. Perfectly rejection. Beautiful pivot point right there. We close this 8-hour candle. 8-hour candle in 27 minutes. And we're talking about this overall bigger range, which created this lower low after that higher high. And don't forget that higher high. So that's that higher high and that's that lower low. And we have never tested that high before. And it took a long time to get there as well. Plus, it's the 70.5. Sorry, that's the last high. So, okay. 79%, 75, 79%. pullback. Value area low, area of supply, many different layers involved in, plus the fundamentals align as well. From a options expiry date to the way the structure is built up and the actual rejection is here as well. So that's the main reason. The question is the timing? Is the timing correct? The S100 looks like it's breaking lower. Okay. And we are ready. We look at the indices right now. It's the perfect moment, due to the fact that we have seen the New York Stock Exchange opening, and we're still waiting for the yen to make that pullback. Yeah, I do like it. I do like it as well here. Okay, beautiful. Indices are looking ready. Looking ready. Canadian yen is retracing. Okay, we have been waiting for that. Want to come and tap into the 105.190. Get rejected, create an internal low, enter on that low, break, and then stop loss above that high. If that's the value area low, fantastic. You put the stop loss above it. So yeah, patience wins here, for sure. In the meantime, the way we came down was beautiful. Okay guys, give me 1 second. All right, we're back. We're back. Yeah, so the same thing happening. Waiting for that closure below for the US30. The S&P 500. Wait for a closure. And that's what I want to see here. It's a fantastic start, especially for the S&P here. But again, you wait for that lower low. There is demand coming into play here. That's why that lower low is so nice. Why? Because if you look at the lower low, you have that confirmation. There is much more potential here. DJ broke? Okay. Alright, wait for this 15-minute candle. We have 4 minutes. Yes, I love it. Love it. This is actually fantastic. We can take it down to the lower time frame here. Beautiful. Okay, patience, patience, but we're getting there now. Let me set it up. Yes, amazing. Love it. Love the reaction of the yen. The yen is moving really good. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, what needs to happen is the following, okay? Before we enter right now, we're coming very close. Very, very, very close. We have this 15-minute closure. 2 more minutes left. Body closure above. For the Japanese and basket is a market order. That's the closure, that's the entry. Until then, you can see pullback. Did you open? No, not yet. We're almost there. We're coming closer. You see already we're coming up. Why? The yen need to close above. We want to see a body closure above this zone. We've been constantly getting pushed down here every single time. The body closure makes a difference, and that's our market order. And again, no body closure. Yeah, patience, patience, patience here. A body closure makes the absolute difference. That's for me. It just gives me such a higher win rate. I don't have a direct entry for you now at the moment. The P is just stop losses would definitely be if you now come down, we create a body closure. 177.150. And I target the London lows, which is at, you know, roughly 176.5. Now the yen has a lot of potential here. That's what I like. I like what I see here for the yen. I really like it. We took out the lows. Now we're creating highs. The body closure is fantastic. Above, that will mean that we could just go and come back up towards these levels here. And that has to push the price down of the British pound and against the yen here. Okay. At the same time, you want to see a body closure below and then an entry. Let's make sure that we are aligned here, that we're not in yet. Okay, check gold. Yeah. Okay, yeah, like I said here, we had that 4 hours up. Base series resistance there now. So 1958 is indeed the resistance layer. We're seeing now that we're coming down. Is that the case if the dollar is now making dollar is still okay? Okay, a little bit. Zoom out as well. I kind of set the alert here and see how the dollar reacts. But you don't want to short gold when the dollar is still coming down here. Even though, yes, there is a lot of resistance on the 4 hour right now for gold. So that higher high is important. Dollar is not much affecting gold at the moment. Yeah, so it has to do with the news. Usually around news, we have a lot of we have a decoupling where. In the trade, it says nothing yet on screen. We wait for the closure, body closure below. I'm very close. I'm very interested in this trend if he closed below. And I see the yen making that move. I see the yen preparing here. This looks good. This looks like a nice, reaction here. So like we said before, beginning of the stream we had that accumulation, consolidation with that manipulation. Now we have the expansion. Now we want to see body closure above it to complete our expansion. It's like a continuation here. So you want to see that breakout, closure, continuation. That's the mode for the yen to break below and close below as well. That's a fantastic combination. Tai C says, the Japanese yen pair are very interesting in the sense GBP, eurojpy are trading multi-year highs. It's like waiting for that rocket to run out of steam. I agree. What do you mean when you say body closure below? When the body of the candle closes below at that level? Right there. So not just a wick, but an actual body. You have seen multi-wicks already. Yet we're still getting pushed down. It's not just a liquidity swipe and like immediately. No, we are actually still, potentially want to come down here. Otherwise, we would have come down. We would have swiped the liquidity. We would have come up immediately. How do you shift your mindset when looking at the pair if it changed from bullish to bearish or vice versa? When it breaks these external highs or lows, but not just the pair itself, also the basket. And when the basket is bouncing from a strong low, in this case the yen, it also gets very interesting. Because if you look here on the daily, we are coming down from a low that's right there, that created a high. A massive run for I don't know how long. I think it was around 100 days, 3 months, like a full quarter. Okay. And this is where we're back. We're back at that low that put in that high. It's an interesting moment right now. At the same time, we have seen constantly DJ going up. And now looking at these internal ways we're building that accumulation, let's say schematic here. Waiting for the break, closure, same for GJ. And yeah. Why don't you look for the BXY closure? So I roughly look at it. But what is the most important for me is that the yen is by far the dominating asset here. It is important though if you want to have an extra confirmation. And you see right now that it's starting to slow down as well here. Are you live until the FOMC hits? I might take a little break and then come back again. Because it's 2:30 a.m. And for me, it's 2:30 a.m. in the middle of the night. So yeah. A stream right now, little break, eat some food, and then another stream. Are you Italian? My father is Italian. My mother is Dutch. Yeah, typical manipulation during the open here. We never saw that closure below. It tapped into it perfectly. It created actually equal lows right now. So that's also beautiful. It's time for the dollar here. Gold is retracing? Okay. Watch me, princess. My mother is Italian, my father is Dutch. Interesting. Nice. You have a great connection, Lorenzo. Hardly any lag. So I live in Bali, so it's actually a miracle. However, I implemented and I bought, ever since my villa was finished, I bought the best possible internet possible here in Bali. The highest quality. I was trying to get it sorted because it was a problem in my last place when I was streaming sometimes. So I invested a lot of money in the internet, especially. How long have you lived in Bali? Since 2018, but I lived here since 2020. Like I never really left. I just went on a holiday once to Europe. Is it expensive? Yeah, it can be quite expensive. Bali can be expensive. It can be cheap. It depends how you want to live here. But in this case, I would say, yes, it's quite expensive. Yeah. Like Bali is one of the fastest growing real estate markets in the world. You have Dubai, you have Bali. It's actually nuts. Food is really cheap. Well, you can make the problem is, like, you know, when there is a big gap in between the rich and the poor, you can literally make it as cheap as you want. You can make it as expensive as you want. So it totally depends on what your market is. Food can be cheap, it can be very expensive. Medical services can be cheap, it can be very expensive. Private or public services, right? There are all kinds of different layers here. Bali has it all, so far I know. Would you consider yourself wealthy? I'm wealthy in my mind, that's for sure. It's getting pushed down. It's getting pushed down. It's preparing itself. Trust me, it's preparing itself. Of course, make your own conclusions. Don't trust me. But this is just a matter of time. And once we break out, we're gonna see GJ dropping here. Usually 250 minute, 15.5.1. It depends on the market. It depends on the structure. Break that low. Yes, we are waiting here. That's for sure. All right. Not eurjpy today. I don't know what you're looking for in eurjpy. Unless we create a lower low, maybe. Maybe. It's testing our patience, that's for sure, yes. Now the body closure is everything. You see it over and over and over again. And the funny thing is the British pound is slowing down. The British pound is cooling off here. Okay, so that's important. It is happening. It is happening. I think that the dollar will make a short recovery soon as well here. We're now bouncing from that 102.789. I think we're going to see short recovery. Check your USD ones. We can. Wow. But look at GJ right now at the moment. We could see a bounce from the dollar. What type of close do you need? So I'm not particularly looking at GJ right now. I'm looking at the Japanese yen basket here. The Japanese yen basket needs to close above here. That's the most important part. Do you use moving averages at all? Purely price action. So just using moving averages on the higher time frame. The daily, weekly. That has been working very well. On the lower time frame, I prefer price action. I definitely prefer price action. Dice is that GJ is probably one of the most pairs that has built enough momentum in one direction that reverse will probably a quick 100 pips just to release some of the profits here. Yeah, I'm waiting for that moment here. That's why it's all about timing right now and patience here. Because I do wait for that bigger move, the bigger pullback for GJ. Which I think is incoming. But it's all about precision, the closure, the alignment with the yen. The first signals are here, which is the yen now bouncing from a higher time frame low. This low right here, they're putting it high. This is on the 12-hour chart or the daily chart, followed by a nice accumulation schematic now breaking out to at least pull back towards the 7,393 range. It is this higher echelon of this internal range from this low. And then from there we'll find out. But like somewhat in that manner. So a closure above here is what we need. And this will then close below here. It's really teasing us. But it's truly being patient is what the most important part is right now for the yen. And then for the dollar, we see already that things like GU, EU are slowing down here. The dollar right now is starting to range. If you look, for example, at GU, we have two levels that I'm interested in looking at. One of them is at 126.780, and the other one is at 126.714. Why these levels? Well, if you zoom out, you look at the previous high. That's the high of the previous high. You want to close at least below that high. Automatically, of course. That's this high right there. This is the low below that level. Why? If you look here, you have this zone. The only pretty much area of demand that I could think about. If we close enough, we could easily bounce and continue. That's why you want to close below and get rejected. And that's the short to make. So it's that's the balance here. So it's between this high and a continuation, or that low and that continuation to the downside, reverse to the downside, in alignment with the dollar. So it could be either direction. Dollar is in an interesting zone though. So I'll be looking for a short. Lorenzo sentiment analysis shows us 80%. I recommend you to look a short a little bit upper. I like that. I think that that we could still go up now before making this push down. So it's not that I'm just gonna wait right now. At this particular moment, we're still waiting for that body closure right there below. In combination with the yen below here. That's just my confirmation. If we create that closure above for the yen, it's done. It's a package. It's a done deal. All the confluences, confirmations you need. Until that moment, we could see indeed GJ maybe push up more. I don't know. We're waiting for that closure here. So we're not waiting for that closure below as well. Only waiting for the Japanese yen to close above there as well. Just right there. That's the most important part. But it's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. You can look at the Forex sentiment data. Yeah, I got it right here. People are still very bullish on the dollar. When you enter the sell trade in GJ, if Japanese yen breaks above and we close below, a body closure below. That's the trade we're looking for. The other ones is just simply US30 breaking closer below. GU bouncing or closing below and rejecting here. So 2 scenarios for GU, and that's what I wait for. That's it. So one of them is gonna make a move. Samuel says, no more trading for me today. Dollar index is overextended. Then why would banks buy a weak dollar for retracement on premium? Even only entering sells and liquidity breakouts right now. Perfect for hedge funds. Otherwise, brother, how are you? Damon, I'm doing good, man. How are you, brother? No, look at the eurjpy. No, my main focus is GJ for now, based on the structure. How are you planning GU? Because on a high like that, I don't feel like how to position my thoughts. So this depends on the order flow of the dollar index. If the dollar index decides to fill a high, like we see all the time, it happens all the time, right? We just fail to break that high, get rejected here, we come down again. It happens, you know, many times. You come up, think, oh, we're gonna break, we're gonna reverse. No, we're gonna continue down. If we are here and GU is there at a key level, okay, we are there and GU is, let me show you. Right one right here. GU is here, and the dollar is there. Get rejected, then we can long here. We can look for a long setup there and look for potential continuation still. If we do break below it, we break not just this level, we break a serious level below this level. This is also automatically a closure below from this high, breaking below, looking for the continuation down. So that's a massive move. If that's the case and we see that happening, that's an interesting reaction. That's why I'm looking at this level, and I just look at the order flow of the dollar index to determine, you know, what the continuation will be here. If the dollar decides to then just still make that move, so we are still making that higher high, we create a higher high, we close above it. That's a first good sign here. That's a first good sign to take consideration. Has not happened yet. Give us some ideas on gold. Thing with gold, like gold is in such a bigger range right now, and it's developing within that range. We have been filling up all these gaps before already. So all these gaps is easy breakout traders. That has been completely filled up. So there is not a gap that we can take consideration, unless it's below internally. We are now looking at a higher high followed by a higher low, a lower high, higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low. So it's just in a consolidation phase right now on the higher time frame, also on the lower time frame. What I tend to feel a lot of people do is they tend to force trade because the only thing that they trade is gold, so they force trades on gold. In my opinion, for now, gold is in not the best state of mind here. When I look at the daily, same concept, okay? We can come down, we have the gap below, yet at the same time we're starting to build up, you know, liquidity above as well. So it totally depends on the dollar. And you have to then reflect to get back to the dollar to make a decision on gold and to see if the alignment is there. So the breakout traders, they're gonna have a little bit of a harder time just because of these gaps now. They're all filled. Unless we flip here to the downside, of course. It's a different story. But in order to really make a difference, we need to create a higher high. We need to create a higher high, break out, and look at that next leg from there. And the dollar needs to either flip or a continuous momentum to the downside. We'll check Dow Jones or S&P. Yeah, we're looking at it. We are aware of the situation here. We're just waiting for these closures. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. Otherwise, I'm gonna close the stream for now. I'm gonna be back in a couple hours again. We're gonna have another like 2 or 3, 4 hour stream, depending on how long it takes here. So we're gonna probably stream around 6, 7 hours today in total. So a little break and then a continuation here if we start to really range on a consistent base, because we have been ranging right now consistently. Also on gold, ranging, DJ ranging a lot here. So you know, the setups are there. But watching Uncle Jerome live is always fun. It's always exciting. It's always enjoying. I'm you know, ready to stay up that late for myself. 2:30 a.m. Gonna go to bed probably at around 5 a.m. So for you guys. That's in literally like what, 4 hours? 3, 4 hours from now? Yeah, I think so. 3, 4 hours from now. In the meantime though, let's say something does happen. You want to wait for that closure above here. Japanese yen, closure above. 7,296. 7,296. Closure. DJ. Closure, yeah, it pretty much doesn't really matter. As long as the Japanese yen closes above here, I'm happy. I'm happy. That's what I'm personally looking for. Therefore, gold, yeah, wait patiently. Dollar is now in an era of consolidation here. I would love to see gold creating higher highs. If we create a higher high, we come and break the lows. We have this low to break. We can fill up that gap that's here. Because we have that gap here. 15 minutes, we have that gap that we can take out. If we come down, that's another layer. But that's only when we create a higher high. When the dollar creates a lower low followed by a higher high. Okay, lower low, higher high immediately. It's another layer for gold. US30 closure below 34,015. Body closure below 34,015. Use this sheet, the body closure timer, to look at what time it breaks, what body closure you need to wait for. You can find this sheet in the last video that I uploaded. Yeah, these are the setups for now. Okay, and then besides that, of course, we will find out what will happen when we actually have the FOMC meeting, when everything like that is happening here. As well, of course, it's an important moment. Gold could easily make that move here, back to the downside to fill out that gap below. This is where all these traders come into play as well here. Probably will tell you to short under the 1955. I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. You're going to see something like this here. Was a good time.
Financial conditions over the past year. Activity in the housing sector continues to weaken, largely reflecting higher mortgage rates. Higher interest rates and slower output growth also appear to be weighing on business.
Yeah, good times.
Is housing services, and that's driven by very different things.
So you want to be there?
As
You want to be there?
With housing services, we expect
You're going to be a good one, okay? So be there.
Supply chains, its shortages, and its demand revolving back towards services. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing.
Have you entered DJ? So I only will enter DJ if the yen basket, I tell one more time, closes above the 7,296. So 7,296. We need to wait for the closure. That confirms, in my opinion, that breakout here for the yen, so we can go back to the 7,339, which has to push the price of GJ down towards the London lows. And look at that gap. Look at that imbalance right below. I think we're timed. We're getting ready to come down. It's just about the timing right now. We're getting ready to take out the liquidity below, to fill out the imbalance right there, to come up, to take out the liquidity, to start consolidate, to start breakout, come down, close below the London low. That should be a major TP for us. And to then break above right there with the Japanese yen basket. Okay? We're waiting for the FOMC right now. You can already see it in the market. It's clear that we are ranging here. Okay? Gold is going to be interesting for the FOMC. GJ is going to be interesting. And the indices are going to be interesting. Okay? I'm going to see you in a couple hours. I'm going to be live again. We're going to watch Uncle Jerome live. Always fun. Always exciting. The best moment to look for potentially trades here. And it's fun. We learn something about the economy. We learn something about the way they act, talk, and the tonality they use here. They're well trained. They're specialists, okay? In media, dealing with the media here. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you in a couple hours. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.